So, hello and welcome to the next episode of the Self Development with Tactics podcast. And before I just lose another whole lot of time because I was just searching through all these book summary websites to see if there are actually better ones than this one. Because if you have seen the last episode, you know that I was a little bit struggling with it because I can't really, take anything from the website directly because they blocked this function of just, doing this. Oh no, sorry, doing this. I can't do anything, and yeah, this is a little bit problematically over there, because when I do not know a word, I just have to type it in all the time, and this takes up a lot of time, and so on and so on. But to not lose time and to go through this hopefully in one session. I will discuss another book today because I really do not want to continue the last book today, or from yesterday, because it was some kind of hard for me to go through it because there was so much I didn't understand, and then it is a little bit, not that good for my nerves. And therefore, we are going to talk about Mindset, the New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck, PhD. Mindset by Carol Dweck can change your life. In this summary of the book, Mindset by Carol Dweck will explain how a growth mindset is the key driven for a happy, fulfilling, and successful life. And this book summary is brought to you through the I think it is called powermoves.com, so the powermoves.com website, which is a website I found just, quite unexpected and quite by accident, but it is actually a pretty great website, because they structured it pretty good, and the summaries are pretty good and also long and pretty detailed. And the only thing I do not really like is that you can't really copy text out of it, which makes sense because if you're making such a website with such a lot of content, you aren't as well really willing to just give all of your things away, I guess. But yeah, but I think even I'm sorry that I just have to see if it's really if there is a print version of it. And if there is a print version, no, it's like makes sense. So we will go ahead directly with chapter 1. Oh no, we aren't actually, because we start with a bullet summary. Fixed mindset belief their qualities can't be changed. Growth mindset belief they can improve. The thing with the fixed mindset is that, there is also a good side at my point of view, because if you have such a great mindset and you have such a great opinion on some things, that are actually working good for you and aren't bad for somebody else, then it is okay that you're just, it's your opinion, and every opinion of somebody else is just, doesn't matter to you. And this is good in some ways. This might be but problematic, whatever. It might be not so good if you're actually a person that is, I don't know, is a Nazi or something like this, because they had probably the same issue. Their opinion was so big and so strong that not so no ever or not there wasn't any opinion that was or any man or any woman, or there weren't any people that could have changed their mindset or their opinion on Jews and all these things that happened. Then it is some sort of problematically. I have to look up the word, of course. But the thing is, with the growth mindset, you can really know and you really then understand that you can improve, which means that you can also see that if you made something wrong, or if you just, didn't make such a good decision, that you will understand it and try to grow through your failures. Growth mindset people work harder, embrace challenges, and maximize their potentials. Might be the thing, because as I said, the harder you work and the more you work, I think the more failures will occur and the more mistakes you will make, because you just do more, which would make sense. And then you obviously, if you have the growth mindset, if you take failure as some kind of lesson for yourself, then yeah, it makes sense. Growth mindset people build better relationships, better companies, and lead better lives. Which could be true, of course, but I hope we will see it a little bit better in the upcoming chapters and or the upcoming summary. And now we actually begin with the actual summary, so the main summary, I would say, of the book by Carol Dweck. Mindset by Carol Dweck. Summary. Chapter 1, The Mindsets. Carol Dweck quickly outlines the major theory of the book. The fixed mindset. Fixed mindset people believe their qualities are set at birth and carved in stone. If it is like this, this is complete bullshit. And if you're thinking like this, I'm sorry for you, but what you're into and your opinion is just completely shit. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for saying this, but if you really believe that what you got by birth and is just what it is and you can't change anything about it, it's just not true. Which is possibly one thing a lot of not, or how should I say, poor people are pretty into, because they think like, yeah, they were born pretty poor and they will stay poor all their life long, and such piece of shit talk like this with that doesn't make any sense. Don't get me wrong, and don't take it like an attack on your personal being, but if you think something like this, it isn't just true. You have always the decisions and you can always change yourself and the position you are in. It will just take a lot of work and a lot of time, of course, and maybe skills you do not have yet, but have to just get or learn or whatever. But you aren't born away. At my point of view, you just get away. If you're born, I think you start at zero. And all the things and all the mindset things and all the patterns and beliefs and all that shit is, at my point of view, at first brought to you by your parents or whoever, whoever, what is it called? Whoever raised you up. Yeah. Whoever raised you up, if it's your parents, they will probably give their patterns and their beliefs and their thinkings to you, which is, yeah, maybe some sort of true that you then have some sort of qualities and or, I don't know, things gotten by your birth, which can't be changed. But the thing is, if you get older and older, the problem about it is that you just, by the age of 7, as I remember correctly, you just stop, stop creating patterns yourself, or just getting patterns, or just, absorbing patterns from your parents or whoever raised you up. And then it is like it is, unless you're just really willing to change your patterns and your beliefs and all these things. Which is, if you are a parent and you're listening to this or you're watching this, please, really raise up your kids in a special, how should I say, mood, I would say, special mood or a special mindset, because, and really tell them that everything is possible. I think it's just something a lot of people say. And this is actually something I've heard or listened to, or just read, whether it doesn't make many difference. People who say, or it's quite a German, and or in the German room, like thing, space kind of thing. There is a phrase, or like something that's called that money isn't growing on trees. Which is translated one by one. May not sound that good, but this is actually something people tell their kids. And if you just tell their kids or your kids that money is something something that's I don't know, it seems for kids, at my point of view, to just be unreachable. And if you just say that money is unreachable and just your kids get a negative thought about money or a negative relationship to money, everything is fucked up for their entire life unless they change it and they are willing to change it. Because if they know money is bad for them, they subconsciously will sabotage themselves that they won't get any money or earn a lot of money, at my point of view. So this is just something I've heard, and I really kind of think that there's something about it, especially with the parent thing and your parents and who raise you up and so on. But let's see. You're who you are, and there isn't much you can do about it. Characteristics such as intelligence, personality, and creativity are fixed traits, and you can't change them or develop them. A growth mindset comes from the belief you can cultivate your qualities through effort, which makes sense because, yeah, you may have the quality of being pretty coordinated or big or, pretty strong. And, because of that, you might have an advantage in some sports or, I don't know, just some sports. But the thing is, other people who might not have these advantages or just aren't that good, or weren't born that good at sports, but you really took the effort and put in the effort to grow in these areas, so in the sport, then they will probably, be faster than you in the progress, because you are just really sitting on your talent thing, and you act like you don't have to do anything. But it's actually not true. Yes, people differ greatly in aptitude, talents, interests, or temperaments, but everyone can change and grow through application and experience. That's true. Especially application, which means, in my point of view, I think just, doing things. And as I was coming home, this is just a really interesting story, I think. As I was coming home, I just, I'm a person who is always thinking, just really like always, all the time. I don't know why. I'm always thinking about certain things or, just random stuff. And I was just I was thinking about me, yeah. And me being just someone who really likes to create things. This is or might be also a reason why I'm doing all these social media things. And also maybe a reason why I'm at a graphic design school. Because I like creating things and I like to create things myself. I've also or always pretty much liked drawing, as I know, and just creating something with my hands and with my brain. It is actually something I like, and I didn't know what value that could bring to you, but never mind. Chapter 2. Inside the mindset. I did read everything. Chapter 2, Inside the mindsets. The two different mindsets lead to very different experiences and developments in life. Let's have a look at them. Consequences of a fixed mindset. When you have a fixed mindset, the following will happen to you. You will not grow much over time. People who believe their qualities are fixed will not grow much because, of course, there is nothing to develop when you believe your qualities are fixed. And this is just what I was thinking about. If you just really believe that, you have your fixed qualities and there is really nothing you can do about it, then why would you do anything? If you just believe it so deeply that you can't do anything. I wouldn't do anything as well. Where did I stop? It's always the same. Are fixed. You either have it or you don't have it. Many people with a fixed mindset believe indeed that high efforts equals low ability. Skilled people, they think, use and rely on their innate skills and should not need to work hard at all, which can be assumed pretty easily at my point of view, but actually it doesn't matter how skilled you are at the task. If you're just a lazy fucking piece of shit, you won't get anywhere. And if you're actually skilled in some kind of area, I think at my point of view, you just really like to work on these things, but because you are actually good by now. And you progress pretty quickly because, at my point of view, if you're skilled at something or good at something in general, you're most of the time really passionate about it because you are good, you are better than others, and so you progress much better in these areas than other persons, which for me is just a reason enough why you should only be working on something you're really passionate about and you really love for quite the rest of your life, maybe. And not work on something because you can earn a lot of money through it, just because you then can work on something you actually like, because you are secure through this other job and so on. This doesn't make any sense for me. If it makes sense for you, then do it. Yeah, I'm not in a position to tell you what to do. It's just what I think. um, you will mostly be busy defending your ego. Fixed mindset people do work hard as well, though. They work hard protecting their egos by avoiding challenges and boosting their self-esteem through validation seeking. This is because your qualities being fixed determine who you are. Thus, fixed-minded people often build their ego around their qualities, which makes them horrendously dependent on results and people's judgment. Performing poorly means you're bad. Performing well and receiving compliments means you're great. Have you ever noticed people battling to be right? That's a hallmark of fixed mindset. People looking at how many likes their picture got on Facebook, major fixed mindset component. The ones plastering the social profiles with "I don't care what people think" and I'm me, fuck the world, mostly a front hiding a fixed mindset, which is actually kind of true. Yeah, if you just, either you're really a person that thinks about these things, that you really don't care about what other people are thinking, and my point of view, that's great, for the most part, not in every section of life. Because if you do need some opinions of people that you're maybe looking up to, you just need their opinions and you just need to, um, take criticism and not being like, yeah, but I did it like this. And so just, take the criticism. You can learn from it. And actually, by reading through this, I'm a little bit scared. But the thing is, I do not want you to be scared. If there are some things that, might be applying to you, which, seems for me as well, especially the thing with the likes on your picture. Um, I don't know if you can say this is a book from 2006, as I know or remember correctly. It was a little bit, up in the article. There was it standing, but I wouldn't just be like, yeah. Even if there's one thing or two things or three things that might apply to you as well, don't freak out and be like, yeah, I will never get a successful life, and I don't know, because yeah, you can change and you can determine your life yourself, and your life will not be determined by a book in a negative way. I think in a positive way maybe, but in a negative way hopefully not. You are a slave to results. People who believe in fixed traits also have an urgency to succeed because there is no getting better, no testing yourself. Succeeding means you're good, losing means you're bad, and when they do succeed, they often feel a sense of superiority because success means their fixed traits are better than others. And this is just, a paragraph that describes me, to be honest, yeah. I hate losing, and I actually know, and I've been talking about this so long for now, or so often. I hate losing, yeah, because I just do not want to be not as good as other people or just worse than other people, which doesn't make any sense, yeah, because through mistakes and through failure and through all these, negative things, you can actually learn a lot of other things, and a lot of things that are so important for you as a human being and you as a, in experience wise. But it is something I really have to work on, and I hopefully will see how I will do it or how to do it. And if I then know it, I will definitely share it and just, to see if other people can get something out of it. Yeah. You will make excuses. When people have a or when people with a fixed mindset lose, they try to repair their self-esteem, um, rather than learning from the failures. Failures indeed often take the shape of denying, blaming someone else, looking for those who are worse off, making excuses, or of course, never competing at all. Never competing at all. And especially at my point of view, the thing with blaming someone else is the most piece of shit part some people or all the people are doing. If you just really keep attention to what people are thinking and or saying, or posting on Instagram or posting on Twitter or whatever, most of the time they just blame somebody else for some shitty reason, because they are unhappy, because they do not have the money, and it's always like, yeah, because of the president I do not have a job now, and because of this person I can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but the thing is, what would you do about it? Just sitting around at home and doing nothing might not be the best thing. But actually, yeah, it might be like that you do not have a job right now because you lost it. But complaining about it, and I'm a person who complains a lot, just a lot, and I think it's actually also something I have to work on. If you just complain about it and do nothing about it, nothing will happen. So just either get yourself a new job, or stay blaming others, or just keep blaming others. But it doesn't make any sense. Consequences, because great fear from the threat of failing without excuses. Did I read it? Yeah, I hope. Consequences of a growth mindset. Major growth over time. As opposed to a fixed mindset, a growth mindset makes you concerned with improving, which leads to major growth and development over time. But if I just read that you are concerned about improving, it is actually if it's too much, it is also something negative at my point of view, because if you just for example, I just see my post in the background because Photoshop is open as well. I don't know. It's always like it with my with me cleaning up. I never clean up anything. My room isn't cleaned up. My PC isn't that much cleaned up, even though I just lose a lot of data by this, which pisses me off. But yeah, it's me. And but I could change it, yeah. But often I think like, yeah, especially in terms of my room, tidying it up every day, and just seeing that everything is clean, especially my room, will just take a lot of my time, and I do not have that much time. And I actually can say it because I come home, eat, take a shit if maybe possibly, go showering, and then I definitely or directly go to my computer and record these episodes. There's no other time, and afterwards, after the episodes, I just post the posts, and or I actually then call my girlfriend and talk to her, and then I go to sleep. And there isn't that much time left. In the past few weeks, or let's say days might be a little bit more accurate, I was just sleeping around 6 hours at night, which at my point of view isn't really enough for me, and it isn't enough for me. If you can really can sleep with or can live with 6 hours of sleep, it's just really great for me at my point of view, because you then just have such a lot of time. You just have to think about it. It's then 19 hours of time. Am I right there? 24 minus 6, 18. Fucked it up. So you have then 18 hours of life to live, and just 18 hours to live, which is an incredible amount of time. But the thing is, yeah, not that much people can really live with 6 hours of sleep. But if you can, as I said, it's great. But let's go back to the concern thing. Actually, I think because I'm seeing my posts in the background, just being too perfectionist just having too much perfectionism is total bullshit, because you then think, yeah, this post isn't as good. How could I improve? How could I disimprove? How could I improve the text? How could I improve the background? How could I improve the structures? How could I improve the textures? How could I improve, I don't know, the color? Everything. And if you just think about it all the time, this will also take up a ton of time. And I will promise you this. If you just are really too perfectionism, or there's too much perfectionism with you creating your things, yeah, there should be the right relationship between quality and quantity. But for me, in my stage now, it's quite everything about quantity. Even though I just hate to put out, not quality content in terms of the design and in terms of the information, but most of it is the information. I really do not want to put out something that's not contributing anyone there. That's just doesn't. And this is also a thing. If only I need, or I think that this certain post, and no one doesn't need, or no one needs this post, it doesn't mean that I shouldn't post it, because there actually might be someone who actually needs it, and you can't know, because it's just your opinion about your post, and your opinion doesn't really matter, because it's for your target audience and not for you. But that's another topic. But yeah, anti-fragile ego. In the growth mindset, failure can of course be a painful experience, but failure does not define you. Failure is a problem to be faced, learned from, and overcome, which makes you a more anti-fragile. Also read How to Develop an Anti-Fragile Ego, which is actually also something that I actually think that I'm a fixed mindset person, and I really have to change it, I guess. I really some kind of hate criticism, because it often feels for me like, pretty much attacking me, and therefore maybe my ego. Even though if they just, talk about my work I did or something else. I'm always in the mood of, or just, always in the thought of they really attacking me or my personality or whatever. You become grittier and more determined. The passion for stretching yourself and sticking to it, even when it's not going well, is the hallmark of the growth mindset, as well outlined by Angela Duckworth in Grit. Indeed, the growth mindset allows people to love what they are doing and continue doing so in the face of difficulties and struggles. And this has also something to do with just being they just talked about being determined or determined. I do not actually know. You become more outcome independent. While the fixed mindset is all about the outcome, because if you fail, you are a failure, the growth mindset always allows people to value what they are doing regardless of the outcome, which is actually a good trait, because pretty much expecting a lot of things for your outcome isn't actually the best thing to do, because if then the outcome is some kind of different and not really that satisfying that you expected it to be, it's just really not that a great situation. How much time? Yeah, it's great. Chapter 3, The Truth About Ability and Accomplishment. Carol Dweck says that fixed mindset people tend to become scared after failures because they interpret failure as a lack of ability. And since they don't think they can grow ability, they will shrink away from trying again in the future. A growth mindset person instead is both more open to new challenges and more open to keep trying again and again after failures. They enjoy testing themselves and going beyond their limits, and consequently end up growing the skills and talents. Which is, this is also something I would like to correlate myself with, but it's actually not the truth, because I hate failing. And the thing is, as I'm just thinking about now what I'm saying, it might be not that good to always say that I'm not good at failing, because what you say is what you think, and what you think is what you say, and what you say is then what you do, and so on, which is this cycle of things at my point of view. And maybe it is actually not the best thing to to talk about it again or all the time. The author, being a scholar, yeah, herself discusses how the different mindsets also affect people in school and their studies. People with a fixed mindset tend to study with the test in mind. They simply want to do good in the test. Yeah. The thing is, if you aren't that interested in school and you just really want to great marks, you just might then be willing to study for the test and or just cheat through the test, which might also be an option if you're just really not into school, but you some sort of need that good grades for maybe on school stuff, so or maybe for uni or whatever you're doing afterwards, and or for your jobs if you're if you're in an era or area that's where grades are or marks are pretty important. But I wouldn't say that you could be generalizing this, because every person is just some kind of different, and so I always tend to be pretty pretty what is it called? I don't know. So I do not like to generalize everything, because I think it's not true, and a lot of people just have different lives and are different individuals, because we all are individuals. But yeah, people with a growth mindset instead study with life in mind. They want to learn and take the skills that will make them successful outside of school. Fixed mindset work to prove their abilities and protect their egos, while the growth mindset people work for life. Chapter 4, Sports and the Mindset of a Champion. In Chapter 4 of Mindset, Carol Dweck goes into some famous sport personalities. I believe one of the keys of this chapter is that many people look at top athletes and think they are extremely talented and were born with and gifted with great genes and skills, which is some sort of true. Yeah, they have great talent and they are gifted with it, because they were born like it. But the thing is, they just work a lot as well. And they work a lot, as I said before, or was also talking about before, because they actually like it. And not that many athletes are just really doing it because of the money, or they couldn't do something else. But a lot really like the sports. They are just practicing or practicing or whatever. And because they like it and they are good at it, they will just go ahead and work on it, because it's what they like, it's what they want to do. Carol Dweck instead says that the truth most of the times is that at the very least the talent was baked by huge amount of work, and many times top athletes didn't even show great talent when they were younger. Carol Dweck also provides some very interesting examples of some top athletes who failed to reach their full potential because of fixed mindsets. Pedro Martinez and John McEnroe. Who is Pedro Martinez? I think it's actually a soccer player. The thing is, there are a lot of sportsmen with maybe this name. Growth mindset athletes instead were able to see failures as opportunities to learn, and that allowed them to get closer to their full potential and to bounce back from major losses and setbacks in their careers. Yeah, which is also always important, because to recover and after failure or after you fucked something pretty hard up, it is important to be able to recover from it and just to think right about it. And I think, at my point of view, this would be the first step if you are in the fixed mindset situation, as maybe I am, and you just really want to overcome this, that even if you fail and just really, how should I say, to really stimulate your failing thing, which means that you should be a little bit more into failing than before and just try out things or do things that you are actually not good at. And if you fail, then just be like, yeah, it's a failure. Just see it as a failure, yeah, and recognize it as a failure. but then be like, yeah, but what can I learn from it? What can I do with this failure? It's it's always something you can do with it. Chapter 5, Business Mindset and Leadership. Carol Dweck then delves into examples of growth and fixed mindset in business. Skilling for Enron and La Coca for Chrysler are the examples of fixed mindsets. So skilling for Enron is ENRON and La Coca or LACOCCA. Skilling used to say that his genius defined and validated the whole company and created value. La Coca would not allow skilled and empowered managers around him to weigh in with their opinions so that he could keep looking the smartest man in the company. As for many other successful fixed mindset people, Skilling and La Coca believed their talents made them superior to others by birthright. The example of growth mindset CEOs are Jack Welch, not my favorite as explained in Leaders Eat Fast, Lou Gestner from IBM, and Anne Luckey from Xerox or Xerox. It's Xerox. This is printer company you might know. All of them were great leadership examples, and you can't read them all in the full. And you can read examples on all of them in the actual book, which costs. I will just look it up afterwards. I think, but I'll see. Chapter 6, Relationships and Mindsets in Love or Not. Relationships is another extremely interesting realm. It's REALM. To explore how the two different mindsets leads to very different experiences. Carol Dweck reminds us that fixed mindset people perceive projections as reflection of the flawed personality. It's a very painful rejection that hurts them at the core of who they are, so they can lash out when rejected and can sometimes plot revenge. I really hate revenge. I think revenge is something that's total bullshit. Yeah, I really mean it, because, only because someone did something bad to you doesn't mean that you should also be doing some bad to him. There might be, I will never just say it as it is. There might be some situations where it is not okay. Yeah, it's not okay, but where I can understand it. But the thing is, this is also something that I believe in, is that you should just give and do not really expect something from it. And this is actually something that's pretty hard for me to understand, even though I'm so willing to understand it. At my point of view, it's something subconscious. I really want to give you value. But the thing is, I, on the other hand, also expect some kind of numbers most of the time, which doesn't make any sense, because I will just do it anyways. Yeah, if I get something back or not, I will just do it and see if it works. And I think at the very end, really stopping all these things, so the whole social media thing, after I knew that it wasn't that great of an idea, is hard, because you actually do not know when to stop. When is the best time? When is the best place? Are you just right before just really raising up in the rank or something? But yeah, and let's just go through this for the end of the episode. Carol Dweck reminds us that fixed mindset people perceive rejection as reflection of their flawed personality. Okay, I just had to read this again. I was just thinking about reading this again before and just, by accident read it. People with a growth mindset instead are more able to detach themselves from the ebb and flows of relationship and use them as feedback mechanisms to actually improve that relationship. And when rejected, they are more able to move on. Also, very interestingly, which I have noticed personally, Carol Dweck says that fixed mindset people tend to see relationships more as battles, and they will try to exploit the mistakes and shortcomings of their partners to feed their own ego. Which for me doesn't make any sense. But I understand that people will just do it subconsciously and they can't really do something about it, even if they, aren't pretty much into it, even if it's just, as I said, subconscious. And people, I think, at my point of view, people aren't evil, from the beginning on, or from birth on, or just consciously. Maybe people just do bad things subconsciously. Sometimes, I have to say sometimes. I'm just thinking about, social interactions, not really like murder or some other crime things. They might be doing it per accident, but also maybe not. Yeah. But yeah, actually, this is the end of the episode. I'm already 40 minutes in. I really tend to make the episodes a little longer lately, because at my point of view, with these summaries, it's not that easy to get everything and to be, for me, some sort of satisfied with the result. Talking for today didn't go pretty long, or pretty good, especially because the words weren't flowing that good. So there are just episodes where everything goes great, and there are some episodes like this one, and I think actually the episode before. And to be honest, as I was talking to you, and as I was speaking about the summary, I was quite like, yeah, it's not doing that great today, and it was a little bit pissing me off. But the thing is, I really have to do it anyways. I just really do it because it is what I do, and I'm not just thinking about it, what I could learn from it, because I might just be speaking a little bit before to just get some kind of warmed up, or read through all these things to see what I can say. But yeah, this would take a lot of time. So there are always possibilities and choices you can make that could change your outcomes or your personality or whatever. Um, but I hope that you are just happy. If you're happy with a fixed mindset, it's okay. If you aren't happy with a fixed mindset, then work on it. But if you are happy with a growth mindset, do it. Maybe you aren't happy with a growth mindset, then you are not doing it. I think happiness is just a great indicator and a really important indicator. And I really now again want to emphasize that you shouldn't be really generalizing it for everyone. I might like to have my business of social media under quotation marks or with quotation marks, and I really want to be able to speak, fluently English, or a little bit better English. But it might be the same thing for you. It might or might not, and it's just we are all individuals, and I think people do not understand it all the time. But enough being said, I hope you have a really wonderful day by the bottom of my heart. I wish you have a wonderful day, a really happy today. Everything is fine. You're not ill. That's knock on wood. Actually 3 times. That everything is okay, and I'll hopefully see you the next time. So tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. See you the next time.